My name is Perry Foster, and this is my persuasive speech on school uniforms. The date is April 9th, 2015. Should students be required to wear school uniforms? This is the question that has caused controversy around the globe. In an interview I conducted with my aunt, Jan Meeks, and also a concerned parent with the raging new school uniform policies, I learned a lot about reasons why uniforms are really not the best choice for school dress code. My aunt had her children enrolled in public schools. Until one year, the district required that all students wear school uniforms. My aunt went shopping to buy her 3 children their uniforms, only to be surprised about the outrageous cost. The year before, she had bought all of her students new clothes for the school year. And so she didn't have the money to spend on another huge shopping trip. My aunt then went to the school and asked if it was a mistake or if she could get a different brand that would be cheaper for her. And the school said that they are required to wear the best of the best, top of the line. Her children were completely dreading wearing the uniforms and were confused about why schools require every student to look exactly alike. So, if the school's job is to educate students about life and prepare them for the real world, why are they teaching our students that they all need to look alike? Is that what you want your children to think? That the only way they can be a part of something is if they look and dress a certain way? This dress code policy is popping up in schools around the world, and if we don't take a stand for what we believe in, the students will be forced to conform. There are many reasons why students should not be required to wear uniforms. For example, the expensive price, the fact that uniforms take away the students' ability to express themselves, and uniforms do not stop students from judging one another. Probably the biggest con of those 3 are the uniform's expensive price. They are expensive, and you may say that all clothes are expensive, and while that's true, students aren't going to wear their uniforms outside of school, so this means they have to buy not only their personal preference of clothes, but also the school uniform, which means double shopping. Jessica Cook points out in her article online that uniforms are not super unreasonable when you're buying them singularly, but when a parent has to buy more than one child that needs a set of uniforms, price skyrockets. Not only that, uniforms wouldn't be so bad if one outfit was enough for each child, but most children need 3 to 4 outfits in case one gets dirty, damaged, or is in the wash. One thing about price is many schools require the best of the best brands, and these schools develop partnerships with these brands, which is not allowing parents to save money by buying less costly brands. Not only is cost a huge deal, forcing students to wear certain clothing takes away the ability to express themselves. Uniforms force conformity and don't allow individuality. Why should parents tell their children to go to school they have to look a certain way? Children should not feel like they should dress like something that they're not just so they can fit into a school. Parents teach their children, always be yourself, and then the school slaps them with the uniform policy. Children should be allowed to wear whatever they want while they're growing up, so they can figure out who they want to be and what they want to dress like. For teenagers, a dress code is needed, but a uniform is just over the top. I'm not saying teenagers should be able to wear any kinds of revealing clothes that they want, but they do need a dress code. But schools shouldn't require that every student dress the same. Wearing uniforms in school in no way prepares students for real-life situations. No one requires you all to wear the same things in everyday life. I'm about to show you a video clip from Discovery News of one of the broadcast members about what one of the broadcast members has to report about school uniforms and the observations and findings from around the globe.
longest-running studies is from the National Center for Educational Statistics. Between 1988 and 2004, it followed students from different school districts and backgrounds from the 8th grade all the way through college to see just how they were affected by wearing a uniform. First off, there was no change in bullying and victimization at all. Results were the same for substance abuse and behavioral problems. Uniforms can actually cause their own kind of issues. Like a lot of schools in England are actually trying to back away from the tradition of uniforms because teachers say they spend too much time arguing with kids over things like untucked shirts, and it's distracting them from actually, you know, educating.
Victor Martel, opinions director of an academic journal, summed up the relationship between school uniforms and bullying by stating this: "Maybe we should make everyone look the same with the same names. Even better, let's just turn all the kids into complete robots so bullying would never happen. Then again, would the robots not start picking on each other about who has the shiniest metal head?" This is an exaggerated example, but a good picture of how uniforms force conformity and do not stop bullying. Another reason schools enforce the uniform policy is to keep the kids from being bullied. However, uniforms don't stop students from judging each other. Clothing is not the cause of bullying. Bullying is rooted in something deeper. People hurt others because they're hurting inside and want others to feel that pain. If a bully is picking on someone for their clothes, it's not really because of the clothes. Uniforms are no solution to bullying. If students aren't making fun of the clothes that others are wearing, they'll just find something else to make fun of. Even if everyone is dressed the same, the kids will just make fun of their voice or the way they walk or the way they talk. Uniforms only accentuate other details like size, hair, and skin. The skinny girls will look skinnier in these uniforms, and the heavy girls will look heavier. Uniforms are just a bad idea. Requiring uniforms is not the right of a school. The cons outweigh the pros in this situation, and schools should focus less on the dress code and more on actual students. Sometimes it seems schools care more about the grade that the actual school gets on the report card rather than what each individual student gets on the report card. If schools would focus more on helping their students become the best students they can be, rather than what the district office sees as the best, then maybe students would focus more on their exams than their outfits. I would love to say that my aunt presented this argument to the school and the school realized that this was wrong and did something about it. But that's not so. She presented this argument to the school, and the school basically told her it's not their problem and there's nothing that she can do. So she pulled her kids out of that school and now goes to another school nearby that are not required to wear uniforms. As you can see, it's much more suitable for students to be able to choose their own outfits with a dress code rather than being forced to wear expensive uniforms. It's up to each and every one of you to take a stand on what you believe in and fight for that cause. Thank you. And I have to record it, don't end it.